laughing now? Who's laughing now? Hail to the Deadites! Hail to the Deadites! Hail to the Deadites! Hail to the
Eventually, we're gonna hit 100 episodes, and you're still gonna be doing that bit.
You know what? Everyone loves a good book, right? No, a little light reading. It's good for the soul, as long as your soul doesn't get swallowed.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 4 of Hail to the Deadites, a podcast about everything Evil Dead. I'm Gee, and this is Kris, and we host this. Just in case you haven't tuned into the past couple episodes, but you really should, because we've had some awesome guests on. And this episode, we get to interview Kelly Maxwell herself, Dana DeLorenzo, which is super exciting. I'm so excited.
So, Gee, what are we going to talk about today before the interview?
Well, of course, we're still waiting for the game to come out, so there's probably some game stuff we're going to talk about. And actually, Bruce Campbell posted some stuff today.
That he
did. We'll talk about that. I think you're doing that bit because I just watched on Twitter. I wasn't like digging deep into it or anything. I saved the deep diving for you.
Oh, okay. I appreciate it. Let me get the snorkel and dive in. So earlier today, Bruce Campbell shared a little throwback of the filming for Evil Dead 2, and what was interesting to me was it was a clip that involves him and a fog machine, and I feel like it's something that's never really been seen before. So if our lovely Steve could go ahead and cue that up for us, if you could make it bigger too, please. So as you can see, it's a silhouette of Ash, Bruce Campbell himself, standing on some sort of platform when he gets teleported to 1300 AD, and there's a shit ton of fog and smoke going up with the light in the back. And he looks just so cool. Like, I wish I looked that cool. What a fog machine.
Oh my god.
I don't think I look as cool. But I believe this is an alternate take of at the end of Evil Dead 2 when the rift opens and it sucks him and his 1973 Oldsmobile Delta 88 cream colored Royale car into 1300 AD, and he shows up. Because like in the movie, it's like during daytime and everything has kind of like a sepia tone color palette. Actually, that reminds me. Give me 1 second here. I have. So I can grab it carefully without knocking anything over.
What is he doing?
I don't know.
I'm grabbing something. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. This awesome action figure that came out during the 25th anniversary of Evil Dead 2. This was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive of Ash standing on top of that platform. And it's very rare now. Hard to get.
I've never seen like any pictures of that before or anything. So that's really cool.
It's a little pricey now. I should not have bought it when I did, but I was like, I need it. So it's probably one of my favorite scenes from Evil Dead 2 and my favorite page from the book. The hero. Oh, hey, Steve's got it. Hey,
is it the same one?
Twinsies.
But you got a Comic-Con exclusive sticker on it. I
made sure mine had that. I don't know why yours doesn't, because it was exclusive to San Diego Comic-Con. But I've started to notice that about some items, specifically with Evil Dead. Like, for example, this pop vinyl figure of Ash from Ash vs. Evil Dead with the blood splatter. This is exclusive to Entertainment Earth. And one of my old buddies and coworkers who eventually started becoming obsessed with pop vinyls, he was trying to convince me to give him mine because I have 2 now. And he's like, yo, just give me one of yours. I'm like, no, get your own. And he was like, but the ones I'm finding don't have the sticker on it, bro. I'm like, I don't care. You better pull that shit up on Photoshop, print it out, and make a sticker yourself. I'm sorry, I can't help you with that. You better read from the book and conjure up one yourself. I can't do anything for you. Yeah. But what's interesting about that clip that Bruce shared is, for those that have visited the Evil Dead exhibit that was at the Mystic Museum in Burbank, there's a lot of rare, never before seen Polaroids of behind the scenes images from Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness. And I noticed when I was looking at them, I saw a photo of that exact moment being, yep, there it is. I don't know if you can zoom in on it at all a little bit.
No, I can't.
Oh, okay. Well, for those of you at home, if you can find a way to freeze frame and zoom in, if you'll notice, it is the same exact area that Bruce shared that video of. But what stood out to me, what made me realize that it was something I'd never seen before, is if you look closely at the saw, it doesn't look like the normal chainsaw that he has. Like, for whatever reason, the teeth on the chainsaw seem to be bigger and more jagged and edgier. The best example I can give is if you've ever played the 2010 reboot / remake of Splatterhouse, and you look at the way the chainsaw looks in that game, that's exactly how it reminds me of. That's exactly what it reminds me of here. So it was interesting to see that, and I was like, "There's never been any footage of this. Where is this at? It's not on." Like, if you're an Evil Dead collector, you have at least 5,000 copies of Evil Dead 2 that's been re-released on Laserdisc, Betamax, VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, whatever you name it. You know, your eyeballs. But there's a lot. I guess there's a lot of stuff that's never been shared before, and so Bruce shared that clip, and I was like, "Holy shit! I recognize that. There's a picture of that at the museum." And so I would like for them to start sharing more. So there's still smoke coming up. I would like for them to start sharing more stuff like that, because that's a lot of cool shit that's never been seen before.
I know, it's really cool. Like, there was a period for months on end where, like, every single day I would go on, like, the Book of the Dead website and go to, like, the behind the scenes photos and just look at every single one, to the point where, like, when I was watching the movies, I could be like, oh, and these are the photos that were taken for this set and blah 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 blah. Anyways, it's I can't believe there's photos out there that I, like, haven't seen.
It's crazy, and I'll go ahead and I'll send a couple your way that I took from the museum, because I didn't share them publicly because I wanted people to experience the museum for themselves. But now that the exhibit's over, at least for now anyway, I'm like, I can share all the pictures and videos that I took and whatnot. And it just reminds me of, like, for example, with the 2013 reboot by Fede, it's like every anniversary he shares new behind the scenes stuff that's never been seen before. And I'm like drooling, because I'm like, give me all the unseen pictures and videos.
Yeah.
Like he's teased that they filmed an ending where his movie ends exactly the same way like the original film, with the evil force going through the cabin and the camera going up and smacking. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why haven't we seen that yet? So, like, next year, either this year or next year is the 10th anniversary.
Next year, because it was 2013, so 2023.
Yeah, so hopefully next year he'll fucking give it to us, because I'd like to see that.
Maybe next year we can get him on and he can premiere them on here. That'd be pretty cool.
That would be dope. Steve, make it happen. Steve, make it happen. Do you want to talk about the video game a little bit before we go into the song and talk about our guest?
Yeah, sure.
What are you looking forward to with Evil Dead the game?
I'm just really looking forward to playing with people. Like, I'm really excited to, like, stream it with you, and then my boyfriend is really excited to play it.
Who's he gonna play as?
He's probably gonna pick some iteration of Ash. He loves Bruce Campbell. So
okay, as long they're like, because I assume that you can only do like one version of Ash. Like say if you have a team of 4 Ashes, like 2 people can't pick the same Ash hole.
Yeah.
So as long as he doesn't touch my OG.
Yeah. He'll probably pick Evil Dead 2. He's a big Evil Dead 2 guy.
Okay. The Alpha and Omega versions, like I've called dibs on those.
Yeah. I'm just excited to play it. I mean, I got the Ash vs. Evil Dead like DLC on Dead by Daylight, but I'm not a huge fan of that game. It's hard, and I'm bad at games. And there's a whole other bag of worms to open with that game.
I'm gonna be professional.
Okay.
And be like, oh, that game. You know, if you ever want to play it sometime, let me know, and I will do my best to be, you know, calm, cool, and collected when playing that game. But
I have a little something regarding that game. Do you know that the art director of that game is actually the guy who designed HAIL to the Deadites poster?
Did not know that.
There you go. He's a friend of mine. Pretty dope. So because this game is produced in Montreal. So
that's right.
Yeah. So Philip, he's the art director of the game, and he did the poster of HAIL to the Deadites. There you go.
Dead by Daylight is such a great game. Oh my god, I love it so much. It's so fun.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to when our perfect little Evil Dead game comes out?
Well, for one, I'm respectfully looking forward to not having to hear people complaining about when is it coming out, is there a story mode, is there single player, all that stuff I see everywhere I go. But like you said, I'm excited to play with other people because I've played Evil Dead games before, but obviously they were all single player. And with the exception of that mobile game that wasn't Evil Dead, but it had Ash vs. Evil Dead in it, there's like a first-person competitive online mobile game called Deploy and Destroy. They had Ash vs. Evil Dead, John Wick, Divergent, and other stuff on there. And it only lasted a few months, unfortunately. So like that was the only like that was like, hey, you want a multiplayer Evil Dead experience? Here's a crumb of that. And like I
thought you were gonna say Fortnite for a second, and I was gonna be like, what?
No, it's funny you say
Fortnite
that. Fortnite
didn't come out in that old time.
It's funny you say that because the artwork for the thumbnail of the app that had Ash's face on it for that game I just talked about, it was the exact same art style as Fortnite. And so, excuse me, I was curious. I was like, is Ash gonna get added to Fortnite at all? And that never happened. But it's funny because now people have evolved from, every time a post from Evil Dead the game comes out, and people are no longer going, we want Ash for Mortal Kombat, we want Ash for Fortnite. And I'm just like, can we just focus on what we're getting, please? But I am excited to play with other people because, like, I don't understand the obsession with single player games. But at the same time, there are single players that don't understand the obsession with co-op games. But like me, growing up, having been mostly like without friends that I could interact with on like a daily basis or whatnot, like I was like, I think I've spent enough time alone. I want a little bit of social interaction. And then we were in the pandemic where we couldn't really see anybody. So I'm like, I want to be able, even if it's just online, I want to be able to share an Evil Dead experience with other people. Like, I'd rather do that than just be like, hey man, guess what I played last night? Oh man, you should have seen it. This happened, that happened. I could be like, dude, last night was crazy, right? Yeah, man, that day I was over here, they did that, and you grabbed the shotgun, and I grabbed the matches, and we found Nobi's tape, and we got the pages, and what the fuck? The freaking Dark One showed up. That was nuts, Like, I'd rather be able to have the shared experience, and
yeah.
So I'm excited for that, and I am confident that the game is going to have some semblance of a story mode. Like, I genuinely think that the game is going to take place after the events of where the TV series left off. That is my belief.
Yeah, I'd really enjoy if they like tied up the ends of the TV show and be like, here's what happened to Ash. And then it's like, oh no, here's all this stuff. Play the game now. Exactly.
That's what I'm hoping for and looking forward to mostly. I'm just really excited for it, and I can't wait. And if Boss Team Games and Saber Interactive, if you're watching, hook us up with advanced copies, please.
Please.
I'm begging you, please.
Well, perhaps we'll move on to our song of the day, unless you have anything else to add.
That is all I have to say until we talk to our guests. So take it away, G.
Today we will be playing Boomstick by Professor Fresh. This is actually the end credit song in the Hail to the Deadites documentary.
Boomstick, let's go, baby.
You know that story about how you could have been king? I think it's kind of cute.
Yeah.
This is my
My boomstick. Keep it, Walter. His name is Walter. Not Walter, but Walter. With the TH, what's up?
This is my
Hip-hop's the enemy, you shall remain nameless. My march, my boomstick, and this is how
Steady.
I don't pull my my vein, got enough to win the bang. Saw my 58 off and sprayed through the ranks. I could have been king, I should have been something, but I can never bring myself to be less than disgusting. Yeah, and that's the way it comes out when you're the motherfucker that I'm thinking about. So get out of my mind and get into my crosshairs. You've crossed the line the last time I drug them everywhere. I'm like the prisoner, stands a man. This ain't Panama Jack, but shit, I got to play. You're either with or against me, wanna kiss or kill me. I know both are tempting, but either way you'll feel me. Feel me, feel me.
This is my This is my
Yeah. So wear a smart looking suit and lose your glasses. I'm not the head of, I teach the classes. So take a lesson, sit back and shut the fuck up. You know you're just not live enough to interrupt. Because this is personal. What you got, boom, what you got? And yo, this is my time. I'm the golden ticket to which you're standing in line. So don't sleep, I won't catch you unless you caught slip. Like a witness of Jehovah tripping with the someone on me you won with nothing but big guns. I'm Professor Fresh, bitch.
Come get some.
I got my shoe wireless in my waist. I got a fresh new pack of double A's. I'll keep it cool in my aviator shade. And I don't want a bunch of jump your own grave. Yeah, and that's what's up on some tickets. Professor Fresh, bitch. And yo,
Here's my
Oh god, he's doing a bit.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting episode of Hail to the Deadites. I'm your host, Ashy Slashy, and with me is Gee.
Hi.
And coming up right now, we have a very special guest. She's filthy. She's fine. She's as fiery as a flamethrower. Ladies and gentlemen, Kelly Maxwell herself, Dana DeLorenzo!
Woo! Woo!
Ashy Flashy, you little felt fuck. What are you still doing alive? Oh, now you're smoking. Oh, you're on fire. Oh, you're on fire.
Ah! Wait a minute! What is that? What is that? Oh my god! Oh my god! Ah! No!
I'm not even sad for you.
Sorry, I don't know how that guy
Are you
got out
okay?
here. I'm
Are
fine.
you okay?
I think I'm good. I don't know how he got out. I think it's because every time we do the show, I do a bit where I read from the book, and like, G's been giving me crap about it.
You're an idiot. Did you learn nothing from? Look, now your house is on fire.
No, that's just a little deadite smoke. I think we're good. I think I found the right word.
I am going to
Oh,
stop
here we go
this,
again.
and I'm going to call 911 if that smoke does not stop in the next
Is
one.
it Klaatu Verata
No! Shut the la 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 fucking ba la 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 la. Yeah, it's all fun and games until little Ashy Slashy bites your crotch off. Then it's.
Well, we'll just do this right here, and we'll be safe.
I'm really concerned for you and the amount of smoke.
It is a lot of smoke. I accidentally let it go a little bit too long, but I think I'll be good.
All right.
How you doing, Dana?
I'm good. How are you guys? I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me on
Thank you
Hail
for-
to the Deadites.
Thank you for being here. We
Although
really
I do have a
appreciate it.
problem. I have a slight, well, of course, but I have a slight problem that it's Hail to the Deadites. I think you guys got that backwards.
You're gonna have to talk to Stephen Martin about that. But from my understanding,
Just like a good Ash Williams would do. Pawn it off on someone else.
I just work here,
right.
okay?
All right. You want to, hey, buddy, you guys want to Hail to the Deadites? Be my guest. Watch the out. I just censored myself. That was
Hilarious. I think what it stems from is the fact that over the 40 years of Evil Dead being around, the term Deadites is used affectionately to describe the hardcore rabbit fan base.
oh my
And
God.
so because the documentary is about the fans.
I know. No, listen. I totally get it. I get into Kelly Maxwell mode and the F-bombs start flying, and then the ball busting is particularly intense. So I had to get that out of the way. You got the ball busting out of the way. I love it. I love the title.
We're fans of you. We're fans of Kelly Maxwell.
What a little I love those stupid pop doll heads. Those stupid heads. I have ours. I actually also have the Army of Darkness, Ash. And I know you're like, everyone's like, oh, blasphemy, taking them out of the box. This is why I don't collect things, because I like playing with them. I like playing with them. You have 2.
The Hot Topic exclusive.
Oh my goodness. Dude, that's badass. I like the little quaff. Oh my God.
Entertainment Earth exclusive.
Which one is that one from?
This is Ash vs. Evil Dead. This is an Entertainment Earth exclusive. Yeah. There's 2 ones. There's one without the blood, and then there's one with the blood.
Oh, the blood is so good.
And I have 2 of the blood ones because Stars actually sent out a package to fans as a thank you after the show ended, like a whole box of goodies.
Thank you. Well, thanks, Stars.
even me.
Oh my God, I'm gonna sneeze. See, all
Bless
that
you.
smoke by you is making me sneeze like Plexi. I love those little pins. Oh, that's badass.
And this is an Evil Dead 1 4th anniversary one.
Dude.
But this is all a result of like you being a part of Ash vs. Evil Dead, obviously, which is one of my absolute favorite roles of yours, including I love when you were the CBS executive Beth as well.
Thank you.
On the Craig Ferguson show. So I just wanted to ask you, like, how did you kickstart your career? Like, how and when did you discover that you had a love and interest and passion for acting?
Okay. To be honest, my first memory, I was very, very young. I think like 2 or 3, but my parents have recordings of me, and photographs of me from when I was very, very little. And like, I think 2 and a half, like basically my mother said I learned to talk when I was 9 months old and have never shut up since, which is very true. But so there's recordings of me. Like my dad was, this is before, I think I don't even know, maybe video cameras were out yet, but we didn't have one. But he would record me on a little tape recorder, like a cassette tape, and just talk to me and ask me questions, and I would want to put on a show. So they have all these recordings of me whenever like family was over, whatever, where I was just very bossy, shock. And I was like, everybody listen to my show. And I would like want to put on a show, but I would never do the show. I would only do the commercials. So when I've heard these back, apparently I was just, my big line was, and we'll be right back after these messages.
That's so cute.
Yeah. So, and they have a picture of me. My dad took a wardrobe box because he sells suits for a living. And it was the only crafty thing my sweet dad ever did. He made it into a television so that it was like a toddler's height, so that I could stand in like a 3-foot wardrobe box. And in it, it was like, it would say Dana's TV. I've actually, oh God, sorry. I just got really big on my own screen. Ah! That's the only time I still scream in real life is when I see my own face. So, ah! So it said Dana's TV, and I would just perform shows. So I remember though watching a couple shows when I was little. One was called We Sing. And the other one was The Elephant Show, Sharon, Lois, and Bram, like Skin and Marinky Dinky Dink. I don't know if anyone knows what I'm talking about. But I remember distinctly, however old I was, going, I want to do what those kids are doing. So it wasn't I don't even think it was necessarily acting so much. It was, I've always just loved performing, if that makes sense.
Total sense.
And yeah, I would not even consider myself like I have friends who are actors, and I'm like, I'm a performer. So yeah, I've always just loved it. And you know, I worked very, very hard to, you know, claw my way to be able to at least do it for, you know, a little while, hopefully a long while, but a little while at least so far to do it and let it be my job. I'm very grateful, and I'm so grateful to be a part, to have my, you know, big break, to be in a franchise like this, because you guys, I'm serious. I'm going to say this so much and be annoying, but I really cannot say enough about the fans of this franchise and how grateful and lucky I am that not only you guys accepted sidekicks for a lone wolf like Ash Williams, but you embraced us and have personally enriched my life so much, especially when I get to meet you and talk to you like today and geek out about this with you. Like, you know, I really just genuinely love it and love talking to you guys. So thank you as a general thank you to all of you listening and watching. You really are the fucking best.
I need a tissue.
Calm the fuck down. It wasn't my dramatic moment yet. Gee, how you doing, Gee? I see your Evil Dead posters up there.
Yeah, I got my little collection going on in the background. And I have a Necronomicon. It's just on the other side of my room. I keep it over by my bed just in case.
Okay, that's real smart. Again, it seems like as big as fans as you guys are, you learned nothing.
I don't read from it. I just have it there. I'd use it more like a phone book to like attack someone.
Okay, that I can get behind.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Badass Black Ash, your smoke has not cleared.
I know,
I think you need to open a fucking window. I'm concerned.
I'm afraid to open the door because if I do, I know it's going to set off the fire alarm. I'm not trying to have that right now.
Oh,
it'll clear.
No, that's what you get for trying to read from the Necronomicon, dum-dum.
So speaking of
I
the
treat my fans with so much the same amount of.
You know what? We love it. We
like
love
you,
it.
Ash Williams.
And the words of the Ashy Slashy, some people were paid good money for that, you know.
Very good voice, very good impression of a puppet.
Well, I mean, you know, I'm an actor as well, and
that's right.
Similar to you, I was from Chicago, and then I left, and now I'm in the land of Cali. Which, by the way, I have a bone to pick with those of you that are in Cali now. I was told it never rains in Southern California. What the fuck is going on outside today? What's up with the weather?
I know, it's sunny where I'm at.
Where are you? I'm like an hour from LA, and it's like overcast and raining and everything.
No, that's just the smog and pollution.
The smog and pollution from the dead.
Actually, right? That you are very excellently, I made up that word, contributing to. Excellently, totally made up word. We're going to go with it. But you are absolutely contributing to it. And you know what? How long have you been here in California?
It'll be a year next month.
That's why. Yeah. Here's the thing. When you've been here more than almost a year, you're going to start to appreciate and beg, especially being from Midwest, beg for the rainy, cloudy days, because honestly, it gets a little Groundhog Day. And I know before I moved out here, like when I heard this woman I would like randomly met when I was waiting tables in Chicago, she lived in LA, and I said, "Oh my God, I'm about to move to LA. I'm so excited. Is it just so wonderful to have it 75 and sunny every day?" And she said, and I quote, "Honestly, it gets old." And I was like, and I remember telling my mother, she's like, "Oh, well, I could deal with that. I would love to have that and get old." I was like, "Yeah, exactly." 2 years it took me. And finally I was like, I understand what that lady meant. You want, I don't know. I grew up with seasons. I want seasons, but enough of this talking about the weather. I'm sure no one else cares unless they're in California or in people who are right now in where like my home. I'm from Ohio originally. Chicago's my adopted home away from home because I was there for a decade. But all my friends there in East Coast and my family, they're in like 10 feet of snow. So they're probably just like this right now where I'm like, it's 79 and sunny every day. Yeah, I would.
I'm in Montreal, so you know I know about snow.
Yeah, you do. Oh yeah, you got it bad, Steve. I love Steve.
He comes and goes like that all the time.
Just like that, just for fun. I don't want to steal the thunder of Kris and Gee. That's why.
Oh, but you're the lightning, Steve. You're the lightning.
I like the turn of phrase there. That was good.
That was good. Myself on the spot.
So I had a follow-up question real quick. How did you get into the role of Kelly? Like, how did you find out about Ash versus Evil Dead? And did you have interest in the franchise before you got the role?
Okay. Going backwards. Yes, I was a fan of the franchise. I was a big horror kid growing up. And I also loved Bruce Campbell first from, I think I saw Army of Darkness first. And first from that, and then like Bubba Hotep and all that. I'm like, oh yeah, I love him. And so, yeah, I was a fan of the franchise. And then how did I find out about it? I got the audition. It's such a good long story, but I'll tighten it because it's the details that maybe only I'm entertained by. But I was working, at a bar here, and my shift was until 2 a.m. And here in LA, and very typical in this business. It doesn't matter what you have going on in your life. They don't care. If nobody cares if you're working, trying to make ends meet to work at a bar. The audition came in at like 8 or 9 o'clock. I was working till 2 a.m. I had to then be at the audition, memorized 10 pages by 10 a.m., which meant I had to leave by 8 a.m. in LA because you park on the freeways here, basically. And that meant by the time I got done with my shift, I got home, it was like I was going to have 4 hours sleep, which I need 8 to function. So it was actually a really great story where I was just so pissed off. I'm like, first of all, I'm never going to get this part. I was saying this to my coworker, Dominic. Hi, Dominic, if you're watching. And I said, it's for Evil Dead. It's a TV show. I didn't even know that Bruce was doing it. I had missed that memo. And he goes, oh, you know what? This is like going to be Sam and Bruce. I'm like, as in the original people? He's like, yeah. And I looked it up, and Bruce had done an interview and said, yeah, we're looking for like a Jennifer Lawrence type. And I go, well, that ain't me. They're going to get Jennifer Lawrence because that's what happens. It's always, they're going to go with the name. What happens? I always lose. Like, trust me, I've been in that position before where it's been like down to me and the name, and the name is always going to get it. Right. So I'm like, So I truly was already and I had some stuff going on in my family life. My mom was just got diagnosed with cancer. There's a whole bunch of stuff, right? It was a lot of things. And I'm like, and so Dominic said, I'll cover for you. Why don't you close? I'll close for you. That way you can get, leave in like at midnight. So I still barely had time. I recorded my lines. I memorized them somehow. Never been able to do this again. It was magic. In the car on the way to the audition. There I am talking, and I see, this is what I mean. This is not interesting to anybody but me. And then all of these series of things happens where then they changed the audition time, and I had to sit down there it was a whole nightmare of scenarios. And then finally, by the time I got in there, and I'd been like crying, and it was because I was talking to my Bob, and I go in there, and I'm just like, I'm never gonna get this. So okay, so I go in and I do it. I'm like, well, hope Jennifer Lawrence enjoys her part. And then a week later, I got a call back. I was like, what? But I was in Ohio with my mom. It was a whole thing. I had to fly back. And then I'm like, I can't even believe I have a call back for this. Okay. The next thing I know, literally the next week, this had never happened this fast for me, ever, for anything. They're like, yeah, here, sign this contract. You're going to screen test because you signed the contract before. It doesn't matter. Anyway, you're going to screen test with Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi. I'm like, what? Me? And there I was a week later, like, oh my God, Sam Raimi is here in his 3-piece suit behind the camera. And oh my God, Bruce Campbell is here and he's so fucking tall. And I remember just going into it knowing I wasn't going to get it. And having really gotten attached over the years to some roles that I was really close to, I said, you know what? With everything I got going on in my life, I know what this is going to be. And it's just going to be this screen test, and that's it. And I'm just going to go in there and enjoy and just enjoy the fact that I get to be directed by the great Sam Raimi, and I get to do a scene with the great Bruce Campbell. And the next thing I know, I got the part. Like, I guess they sent everybody home after me. I was like, wait, what? That's just, I'm still kind of in awe that I got the part. But a part of it, I think, was I was told by the casting directors, because there was a scene in the audition that was not the first scene is the exact scene you guys see in the pilot. When I'm at the value stop, that scene between me and Ash was identical. So I had been doing that scene for basically 3 months, 2 months. Wow. I've had it since January, February. January. But then the other 2 scenes never made it to the pilot. But the third one was like, basically Kelly walks in on Ash. Pablo, like, Ash says, do something about it. And so Pablo hits Kelly in the head with a frying pan to knock her out. She's called the police. And I full on, like, I commit 100%. And any chance I get an opportunity to do slapstick, I'll do it. But apparently one of the reasons I got it, or they enjoyed me, is because I threw myself on the ground, like pretending to get hit. But just, there's no one in the scene when you're on camera for an audition. It's just you know. So I like somehow made it look like an actual frying pan hit me, and I threw it on the floor, and they liked that. So yeah, that was, man, anyway, I think of it very fondly. Did I even answer your question? I feel like I've been talking for too long.
No, you answered it, and great answer.
And then some. And then there was one other question, and I don't even remember what you had said. But yeah, so that's how I heard about it. That's how I got it. And it was just one of those things, like, I guess it really was meant to be, because there was no reason I should have gotten this part. And I'm just, again, all the heartbreak over the years and all the daily rejection was, if I got to cash in for this, totally. I mean, yeah, I'd do it all again, for sure. Wow. Yeah,
that's an amazing story. I want to hear the long version now.
You what?
I'd sit through the long version.
Yeah, no, honestly,
that was a longer version than the long version, even longer version is only like other little details that of like all the setbacks for why I should not have gotten the part, like just little fluky things that were happening. But then again, it was like, it almost was like it really, in a way, I feel like it was meant to be, even though I absolutely knew that I was never getting this part. So yeah, I'm pinching myself still, really.
Showbiz, right?
Yeah.
Don't do it any, just to get out while you can.
Nope. I'm sticking to it.
Good, buddy. Then you have what it takes. You have what it takes. I'm telling you, because people look, if you're one of them, I have some friends that are really super talented and also really lucky. You have to be both. It is a lot. It's not just talent. That's what I still get angry about. It's not just about, be a good person and do the work. And I don't even know. I'm not saying I'm talented. I mean, like, it's more than that. A lot of it really just is luck and who you know and whatever. So I think though, when you love it, like I've always loved it, that's what keeps you going, because you just love the chance to perform, even for an audition that's just with a casting director who is, you know what I mean? But I'll tell you, I mean, now even having been on a show and then in a pandemic, like it's not easy. You know what I mean? It's not easy to stay on riding the wave. It's your whole thing is this. So as long as you can mentally prepare yourself and say, I don't care if I'm eating ramen noodles for the rest of my life. Don't care. I love it. I love it.
Yep.
Then you'll love it. Then do it. Do it. You regret the things you didn't do more than the things you did. So you might as well go for it, you know?
Remind me to tell you a similar acting story.
Why don't you just, you don't want to just tell me now?
I feel like I've been talking enough as well. I want to get Gee a chance to like ask some questions.
Yeah, how about you guys just talk and I'll shut up. I think your audience would actually appreciate that.
No way.
This is what it's like to hang out with me. Everyone's like, oh, you're so, I just want to hang out with you. No, you don't, because this is what it is, and it never stops. And by the end of the hour, you're like, Hey, nice to see you.
Nah, not us.
Trust
Dana, you're
me.
awesome. You're awesome.
Oh,
I've run into you
you're
a couple
awesome.
times at conventions, and like every single time I've had a brief chance to chit chat with you, you've been just a delight. So
Well, fair. Thank you. You're being very kind for the sake of this show. So
no,
thank
I'm
you.
being honest.
I just never shut up. That's what it is. Okay.
I have the same problem, which is why I'm doing this and saying, "Gee, go ahead and say."
Yeah. So you mentioned like watching Army of Darkness and Bubba Hotep and like watching Bruce's movies and then getting to screen test with Sam and Bruce. Like, just what was working with them like? And like, do you have any like funny on-set stuff that happened? And just like talk about that.
Okay. I'm trying to go through the catalog. Funny on-set stuff that happened. I mean, yeah. You're saying like, okay, so what was it like to work with them? First, it's so hard for me to make this short. It's hard for me to make anything short. But Sam, here, I'll start with Sam. Sam Raimi is Sam Raimi, okay? And this is what it was like from the screen test before I had the part all the way through working with him and every time I've seen him since. This is how I describe it to people. Sam is one of those guys that when you're talking to him, it's just you. And I don't mean just with me because I'm an actor on his show. I mean, he learned every PA's name. I still think I couldn't keep track of everybody that until the end of the season. Sam was there directing for the first episode and managed to learn everybody's name. Again, does he have to do that? No, that's the kind of person he is. And so when he would talk to you, it didn't matter who the hell you are or what your job is, as I would hope a lot of people would be in this world, but you don't expect it with someone of his stature because he's dealing with so much. He talks to you and it's this, and there is no looking around, who else is talking, who else it is this. And so you're talking to him and all of a sudden you're like, oh my, feels like Sam the butcher from my local grocery store. My buddy Sam, hey, paisan. And then you're like, da, da, ba, ba, ba. And then he walks away. And when he walks away, you're like, holy fuck, that's Sam Raimi. Like that's the Sam Raimi effect that I call, where he's the least and the most intimidating person in the room. You talk to him, no ego, no, you're just comfortable immediately.
Mm-hmm.
He makes you comfortable. And then he walks away and all of a sudden the like Sam Raimi follows him and you're like, oh, I just talked to Sam Raimi. Did someone get a picture? Did someone get a picture? Like, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It does.
And Bruce Campbell is exactly as you hope he would be, only even better. Bruce, I love him so much. I actually hounded him. Because I found out he's in LA. And I was like, when can I see you? When can we go out? Can I see you? Can I take you to dinner? Can I take you in? Like, Emmett, his wife, can I take you guys to lunch? Finally, he's like, all right. And I ended up spending like overstaying my welcome. I went back to the place that him and his wife Ida are staying, and I was with them. It was a lunch that turned into it's dark now. Like I was just me and them, where when I realized it, and I feel like I finally saw, because I was so like, because I miss hanging out with him. I immediately clicked with him. We love, how we are. I think it's not how we are on this show. I wouldn't say like I'm not that cool. I'm not as cool as Kelly, but we volley with more love in real life, meaning like it's the ball busts are not like it's a very different dynamic because he's not a stupid idiot. Like I love Ash. We love Ash. He's a dumb a lot of the time, but he's good by accident and also really good at killing Deadite. Bruce Campbell is really, really smart. Like really smart. He's doing so many things, and I don't want to spoil anything because I'd rather he announce it and maybe he already has all the things he's doing. But I'm like, dude, you never stop. you know? And so I just miss seeing him every day. I miss being regaled by his stories. I also just miss watching him perform, like, especially when it was scenes with him and Lucy or him and Lee Majors. I mean, I had a front row seat to all of that. And trust me, it was not lost on me. I half the time I think even the first, always the first take when Bruce would do something and he would always get it in one take. And I would sometimes, not all the time. Like I almost would be so amused by him, I'd forget that I was supposed to be annoyed by him in the scene. So I'd be like, "Oh, you're a dumb idiot!" Like I didn't. He's just anyway. I love our crew. I love our cast. I could just keep going. See, I never stop. A funny story. You wanted something specific,
or just any story. Just I don't know, just. Any story.
I'm so bad at, I should have thought of this before. I'm so bad at anytime anyone asks me what's your favorite food? Suddenly I'm like, peanuts. And it's not, what does that even mean? A funny story. Okay. Here's a story. It didn't happen on set there because we weren't as you saw how fast the show goes when you're watching it.
Mm-hmm.
It was twice as fast trying to film it. Everyone's like, did you have fun on set? Sure. But it was not the kind of show where you're like, dang, you're screwing around. It was, you show up, you got to get a lot in 5 days to shoot. And it was insanely fast. But this funny thing, it was Sam's last night in New Zealand, which is where we were shooting. And he saved me. Sam Raimi. And saved me from a possessed escalator. And what I mean by that is we were in, I forget what it's Sky Tower in New Zealand. So imagine it has all these levels. There's a casino with restaurants or whatever, but the atrium, the center of it, there's the biggest escalator you've ever seen in your life. It goes on for, I don't know, you're riding it for a minute and a half. And then there's another one and it goes pretty high up. Okay. I'm bad with feet. I don't know, 100, 200 feet. I don't know. So there's 3 of those before it then splits off. And then there's an elevator. Okay. So everybody can see what's happening. So we were in the exact middle of going down after we'd all eaten dinner and Sam's there and Bruce and Ray and Jill. And okay. So we're all there. And I was wearing a strapless jumpsuit that's made of very slinky material, like a polyester. See where I'm going here? And strapless, elastic, could have basically been sweatpants as one pull-up thing was what I'm trying to get at. It was loose and okay. And it was wide leg and the escalator as I'm going down somehow got caught. They have all those warnings about stuff with escalators. I'm always like, what kind of, because the stairs, I don't need to tell people how escalators work, but the steps are going down, but the sides are going up. So somehow I was screwing around and some song came on and I was dancing on my step. And then I was the first one of the step. And then it was everybody else. And so I'm yeah. And I go to get off and I went, and I went, oh God, and I feel the top coming down, and now all of New Zealand practically is watching me, and I go, oh my god, and Jill comes up and holds it to try and at least because it was gonna pull everything off, guys.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, I mean I had undergarments on, they were gonna come off because it was it was going, and so at this point it was getting. It was either going to rip and I was going to be up there in a thong, oh God. And so in front of Sam and Bruce after the first episode only, I'm red thinking about it. And I'm oh my God. And I'm oh God, it's so, and everybody else just kind of stood there and Sam in his 3-piece suit got down on his fucking knees and was he tried to pull it. He's trying to pull it. He gets down on his knees and he's at the escalator. And I'm how? And it gets to a dire point and he rips it. And then, so just the bottom of my pants ended up ripping of my jumpsuit. And then he's on the ground. He goes, Well, that'll sober a guy up. It wasn't like he was slept or anything. I just think, oh God. Oh, I was like, Sam Raimi, you're the real hero.
That's hilarious.
I don't know. Is it funny? Again, I don't know if I'm giving the details of the stakes that were raised at that moment. But then I do have this moment, when things go fast and it's terrifying and you're like, hey, about to be humiliated. And then all of a sudden it's like,
slow motion.
I have also distinct image in my head of being like this.
Oh no!
And Joe holding it and looking down and seeing Sam Raimi on his knees in his suit, trying to rip as my pants are going up and up and up on the side of the escalator. Yeah, anyway. I don't know. Again, this might only be entertaining to me, but the fact that Sam Raimi saved me from a possessed escalator is a very special thing to me. And I think
that was beautiful.
I even looked at Bruce and was like, the fuck were you? He goes, I'm trying to remember. I don't want to make up a line, but I honestly feel like he said something like, jumpsuits are my specialty or something. I don't know.
I could see him saying that.
Yeah. Or he's like, wear tighter pants next time or something, I think. Like that. Anyway. Again, it's now getting dark here. Did I even answer your question on that one?
You did. That's one of those stories where like in the moment it's like totally humiliating and you're like, oh my God, like, and everyone's going to remember that forever and and then it's like funny. Like
yeah, it is funny because I was not stripped of all my clothes in front of Bruce Campbell and his wife Ida and Sam Raimi and his son and whoever else was with us and all of New Zealand who was in the Sky Tower at the time. I'm just telling you, like on that middle level, and I'm screaming okay, anyway, enough. I don't want to even think. We're moving on. I was getting humiliated all over again.
Oh, you're a trooper. Thank you for sharing that story.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking.
Gee.
Yeah.
Did you have something else that you want?
Oh yeah. I'm caught up.
No, I feel like I was
sunshine. You're making me like so happy. I'm just like.
I think we all just needed a moment of silence. To just not hear my voice for 1 second.
Oh my God. Your voice is lovely.
Okay. Calm down.
I'm just being truthful.
I like to say calm down when there's no need to calm down. Like my friends will say, so do you want to go for a hike? No, just respond, calm down. My thing, guys. You could steal it.
So you mentioned that shooting was like super fast and you had like 5 days to do stuff. So out of all 3 seasons, what was like your favorite episode or scene to shoot?
See, there we go with the favorites. That's so hard for me. I can't narrow it down because for me, there are different kinds of favorites. Favorites, like just what was the most fun to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
I would say whenever it was a bunch of us, like season 2, I would say in general, season 2, I'll answer this. Season 2 was what I feel is the best season. I feel like I love all of the seasons, but I mean, I feel like season 2, we really just hit our stride, or maybe I felt like I hit my stride as Kelly and just really sort of then knew where we were going. I love season 2 as a whole. And I just seem to remember season 2. Season 1, I was freaking out mostly and always thinking I was going to be killed off because we never knew, none of us knew until we got this table read, which was the day before we started shooting. So the episode. So season 2, we had Ted and we had Lucy, and it was like, and we had Lee and Michelle, and it was like so many of these, and Pepe and just so many of these great actors and local guest stars, and then the greats like Lee Majors and Lucy Moore. I seemed like those bar scenes. I really loved, because that's one of my favorite stuff. Those are some of my favorites because you're all, it's like, I don't know. It was not so difficult in that sense. It was on, I just liked I like playing on a team, you know, more so than being the star. Does that make sense? So I liked passing the ball and being with everybody and enjoying, like, just watching Ted and Bruce together. It's amazing. And then I got a lot of time with Bruce. Like, I got to do a lot of scenes alone with Bruce, and I really enjoyed that too, because it was just, it keeps you, you know, I learned so much. It keeps you on your toes. I was learning about, like, how to deliver a one-liner and really just come into my own as Kelly and as an actor as Dana. But then also, you know, the hardest days were also, though, some of my favorites because of what I got to do. Like, playing possessed was always a lifelong dream of mine ever since the first horror film I saw, which was The Exorcist. And I was so excited to be possessed. It was really, really hard. It was shot over. It was really hard. And I got electrocuted. It was a lot of things happening. But at the same time, it was like I was sinking my teeth into it. I loved it. Same thing with the puppet, with Ashy Slashy. Fucking love puppets in real life. But, like, I had to learn how to do all of that. There's no real time for rehearsal. I think we did a blocking rehearsal an hour before I had to shoot the day before. So having to, like, learn on the spot. I was, like, practicing doing this in my own head, but, like, I didn't realize I was going to have to, like, talk to whenever it was on my hand, that was me, except in the close-ups where that was the puppeteer, where they luckily reshot it. But, like, that one shot of just, even where I had to mouth what someone else was saying in real time. And then when Ashley would walk away and I'd had to pull him back, trying to not make my face react like the puppet. You understand what I'm trying to say? So my hand, it was really hard for me to do, but I had to just do it. And so I really loved that. I loved that it was like, sink or swim, figure it out. Like, that's it. And I loved that adrenaline of, like, bah, you know, and getting to do an homage to Ash and with the hand. And so, yeah, I mean, and I don't know, I could just keep going. I have so many favorites. I really do. I really, really do.
You were just absolutely amazing throughout the entire show, honestly. I know I seem like I'm being a kiss ass because I keep complimenting you, but I'm being serious. Like, I genuinely, wait, hold on.
Oh, Steve, you're muted.
Steve, you're muted.
I was saying that he does look like a kiss ass. That's what I was saying.
Throwing him under the bus.
Throwing me under the bus.
I love that.
Steve, it's still Black History Month. You can't do that.
Here's what I love. I love that if you guys were the ghost beaters, I love that Steve is actually the Kelly in this, because he is ball busting.
Yes.
I love it, Steve.
Stephen Martin, love doing
Kelly impression.
So now I lost my train of thought. Oh,
I'm sorry. You were telling me that I was great in the series.
Yes. Like, for example, I cried when they temporarily killed you off in season 3. Like, legit, I cried during that scene.
I kind of wish that's another thing. I kind of wish Kelly went down. She said, if I go down, I'm going down swinging. I really, is that weird that I begged? I was like, we already killed off Pablo and brought him back. Like, let Kelly just, wouldn't that be so good to just have her be done? But no, it's okay. But that's okay. That's good. I'm glad because I got to, finish out the season. But yeah, I thank you for saying that. That's really nice to hear. Oh, it really is.
And then my favorite line of yours is the "back off now or I will fuck your faces with bullets." That's my favorite line from you throughout the entire show.
So funny.
It makes me laugh every single time.
Thank you. You know that I listen, all of those incredible lines of mine, all the credit to the writers. Mike DiGregorio and Kim Welsh. And It takes a village. I wrote an article on this like 2016, I think, for iHorror. You could look it up. It takes a village to raise a strong female character, and that's true. I mean it. It wasn't not. I had to have so much. Everybody contributed to helping make Kelly who she was, truly. And yet, because everybody was so collaborative, I got to, you know, as we were going along, Sam Raimi sort of set the bar and said, you know, he asked me in the first episode to sit down with him and help him write the dialogue that I would say to my mother and back and forth that my mother would say to me in the next episode in season 2. He's like, you know, what do you think the backstory? Like, how did she die? And I was like, what? No, don't ask me. I don't fucking know. And I'm like, but he like really would not let it go. He's like, no, I asked you for a reason. I chose you for this part for a reason. And I want to know, like, write this with you. Let's do this. I was like, hey, Sam, Raimi. But that was the bar we had, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. Sam Raimi could be like, this is my baby. This is I certainly knew I knew nothing. And he immediately, that's how he set the bar. So the writers were that way as well, where that I was like, hey, you know, if something feels wonky, if I'm stuttering over a line or whatever, well, how does that work? And they were like, oh yeah, you could suggest an alt line for a different take. If we use it, great. If not, no. So I would throw some out. They always let me do. I have a couple of lines in there that they ended up using, but one of them was "back off now or I will fuck your face with bullets," where actually that's where Craig DiGregorio said, that's so much better than the original line. We're changing it in the script to that. So I felt very cool. I like, because, big deal. I got to do one line. The writers, writers never get enough credit and drives me nuts. And I give all the credit to those writers for making Kelly who she was. But that was one of my own that I am so happy to hear, because that tends to be a fan favorite of me talking about fucking your faces with bullets. So great.
And we're gonna have to wrap it up in a second, but to end things real quick, Gee and I just want to know, how excited are you to be back for Evil Dead the game?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said G. I'm sorry. I zoned out for a second. Okay. How excited am I? I cannot say it enough. Look at my hands. They're moving because I'm so excited. Getting to go and go into a studio. I just recorded the lines. I didn't. It's not like you record it to the video game, which again, I've never done a video game. The fact that I'm in a video game period as somebody who was such a gamer when I was younger, like little, like an old school NES, I was crushing it at some old school Nintendo games, which are now obsolete in a way, except for the new Nintendo. I get it. But I'm now terrible at video games, and it upsets me because I move the joystick too much or whatever you call that. I'm just terrible at them. But I'm looking forward to working on my skills for that. So the fact that I'm even in a video game is like, the fact that I got to go back in as Kelly and bring her back to life and help, again, collaborate and say, hey, this thing, again, I don't know what made it and what didn't, but they were very open to me saying like, hey, this is something that was set up in this series that I feel like never really came to fruition for Kelly. It would make me very happy, and I think the fans very happy if maybe we could just include that little da-da-beat-a-boop. And I did that for a couple things, or like just say, hey, if we can have a weapon, or what about if we can change, Kelly's skill, one of her skills was turning anything into a weapon. Can we maybe do ba 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 ba? And again, they were very receptive. And same thing with some of the lines. I got to do that. So to get in a place where I got to go back and know and be her and know that my Pablo was there, my powerful vagina is gonna be in it. I mean, everybody, and of course Bruce Campbell and all of them. I mean, and Cheryl. I mean, all the characters. Henrietta. Man. Again, I'm such a geek. I love it. I'm so excited. It looks fucking incredible, does it not?
Oh my god.
It looks so good.
I cried when I saw the reveal trailer. There's footage of me crying, reacting to seeing the trailer for the first time. I'm so excited.
I mean, first of all, the Bruce Campbell, it's like Bruce Campbell is inside the video game. That's him. Like I said, that is so realistic. I can't take it. And just, we got it. I love that you can play as the demons, as the Deadites. Elagos, I'm coming for you, mother. But I really, look, guys, I had so much fun. I don't know. I'm not going to speak to the video game world because that is something I am so out of touch with, and I cannot wait to get back in touch with it through this. But man, I was impressed by what I've seen, and it's all I've seen is what you guys have seen. And I'm telling you what, I don't know. I'm pretty fucking excited.
We are too.
I'm stoked too.
I know. May 13th, I think, is the date. Yeah.
Yep. May 13th.
Did you already pre-order? Because I was like, I want to get one of those Ash outfits. Why don't we? You get you get the kits from Stars. You get. How do I get? I want to get one of those. Army of Darkness is my favorite.
Did you pre-order?
I didn't know I had to. I thought maybe I would get a copy and maybe get a cool swag. It's fine.
Well, you know, when this episode airs, we'll tag them on Twitter and be like, Dana.
No. Oh God, they're gonna be like, all you had to do was ask. You don't need to go on other shows and complain that you're getting free shit. It's true though. I do feel like Ray and I, when we do a Comic-Con and people would show up with these pins they wanted us to sign. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I want to see these in my life. And then I would have to like put in a request to get one. Dude, you got them all. I actually think a fan gave me one of me because they had two. I don't even have the whole set. I mean, those are pretty fucking great.
I would offer
Ariel, my little Brandy, and my little Dalton. I was just on with Ariel on the phone yesterday on the FaceTime. She's in Australia. I love that so much. You're cool.
If this wasn't so rare, I would offer you one, but I'm sorry, these are so rare. I can't part ways with this. So I'm sorry.
Now is the time to really be a sarcastic. Now it's to give her one of your pins.
I don't want one. It's okay. You know what?
I'm kidding.
I know. Because I know that you would probably actually do it.
I would.
I think somewhere maybe it's in my parents' house, but I know I have one of the little one of me, or maybe I have Pablo because I'm like, I don't necessarily want my face. I want my peeps. I think I have maybe Pablo and Ash. I don't know, but thank you. And you should keep that and sell it in like 10 years on eBay.
Oh, no, I'm keeping this shit. Are you kidding me? If I get extras, though, you are the first person I'm talking to.
Dude, I also just note. Oh, thank you. But I'm just noticing your shirt too.
Oh, my shirt?
Again, What shirt is this?
I got this from Fright Rags. This was.
Fright Rags, you want to send me something or what? I played that girl on his right nipple.
Yeah, the right nipple. Well, unfortunately, I think we do have to.
Yeah, see, this is what happens when you go over an hour. This is when my brain starts getting. It's like, yes, shock.
We'll have to see if we can do a follow-up episode so we can chit chat more. We have so many things.
On it first. They might need.
Oh no.
My own ears are ringing because that means I have talked too much and too loud for too long.
You're fine. There's a lot of other things we wanted to discuss with you.
I know. I'm sorry.
Sure. You're fine. Dana, you're fine. We love and adore you.
I owe you a follow-up. Okay. And I'm going to set a timer. So that when you have to tell me ahead of time how many questions you have, and I will set a timer for no more than 3 minutes each question. And if that timer goes up and I'm still in my intro about the question, too bad. I got to move on. I'm here to help you. I'm very self-aware, which is a blessing and a curse, but I can help facilitate getting the answers you want.
Sounds good. And one short question to wrap things up.
And I'll try and give a short answer.
Will you play with us when the Evil Dead game comes out?
Fuck yeah.
Awesome.
Fuck yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
I got dibs on OG Ash.
All right. I'm not gonna put dibs on anybody yet. I gotta look at their stats.
Smart move. Smart move.
Although I kind of have to play Kelly at least. I'm gonna play Kelly off. All right.
Yeah.
So in this game, unless G wants to play Kelly.
No, I'm playing as Cheryl the first time.
Okay, perfect. Well then, great.
We got our mains. Awesome. We'll exchange video game info later. But Dana,
for sure.
Thank you so much for joining us. It has been an absolute pleasure to have you.
I want to smush your faces. And Steve, wherever I know you're hiding, I know Steve's asleep because where he is in Montreal, it's like tomorrow already.
It's only
It's
9.
even later for me. I'm an hour ahead of Steve.
You poor thing. Oh, go take a bath and have a glass of wine to get the smell of my voice off you.
I'm gonna just have a can of Shemps.
Look, you got it all, buddy. You got it all. Dude, we're hanging out. We're hanging out sometime.
I'm down.
We're gonna hang out, all of you, all three of you. We're doing it. Anyway, I thank you so much for putting up with me and asking such great questions and getting me to go down memory lane for the first time in a minute. So thank you.
Of course. We love you.
You're both my power. You're all three of you are my powerful vaginas and honorary ghost beaters. Here, deemed you by the power fucking invested in me.
What an honor.
Thank you
Love
again so much. Much love. Mwah. And to everybody watching, if you're still watching, you're my powerful fucking vagina because you sat through me for this long. Now go eat a sandwich. All right. Love you guys.